Okay, so the first thing that we need to realize whenever we are comparing functions, whenever we need to find the slope and the y-intercept to compare those functions, is an equation is given to us in slope-intercept form, which means that m, or the number that is with x, is our slope. So the number with x is our slope, and b, the number that's by itself, is going to be our y-intercept. So slope is m, it's the number with x, b is by itself, and it is our y-intercept. So if I'm given two different functions and I have to find, in this case, it's asking me about the slope. So it's asking me about the slope of each function. So to find the slope of a graph, from a graph, you can either do rise over run to find your slope, or you can choose the 2 points and put it into a table. Remember that you have to choose the 2 points that you know exactly what they are. So for example, you can choose this one and this one. In that case, I'm rising 1, 2, 3, and I am running 1, 2, 3. So for function a, my slope would be 3 over 3, which equals 1. If you don't understand how I did that rise over run, you can put those points in your table. Our first point was 0, -3, and our second point was 3, 0. So to get from -3 to 0, I added 3. To get from 0 to 3, I also added 3. And remember, it's the change in y over the change in x. So my y goes on top. So my slope would be 3 over 3, which equals 1. So regardless of which method you use to do that, you get the slope is 1 for function A. For function B, the slope is the number with x, which is going to be 5. So in that case, the slope is 5. So the slope of function A was 1, the slope of function B was 5. So the slope of function A is less than or greater than the slope of function B. Less than, because 1 is less than 5, right? Pretty simple. Next example, again, I have my graph and I have my equation. So I need to do rise over run, so I need to choose 2 points. So those 2 points will work. So I rise 2 and I run once. So my slope would be 2. Now, on function B, what if x is by itself? That is an automatic assumed 1. So on function B, my slope is 1. So the slope of function A is 2, the slope of function B is 1. So the slope of function A is greater or less than the slope of function B? It is greater, because 2 is greater than 1. Next one, function A. First, look at your statements. On this one, it is asking about the y-intercept of each function. So remember that the y-intercept is the number that's by itself in terms of slope-intercept form, because remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So the number that is b is the number that is our y-intercept. So in this case, notice how it's a plus b. And on function A, we have y equals 2x minus 2. So b is going to equal -2, since that's a minus 2. So it'll be -2. For function b, I look at where it crosses my y-axis. So where does the line cross my y-axis? It crosses right there. That point, it is between -2 and -4, which would be -3. So function A, my y-intercept is -2. Function B, my y-intercept is -3. Remember that negatives are backwards. So is -2 or -3 bigger? -2 is going to be bigger than -3. So the y-intercept of function A is going to be greater than the y-intercept of function B. So this does conclude our lesson. And remember, just to show it one more time, I know I showed it in the lesson, but if you have the equation y equals 2x minus 2, and you want to put that into an x and y table to figure out what the y-intercept is, our goal is to find out what y is whenever x is 0. So if I plug in 0 into my equation, that would be 2 times 0 minus 2. 2 times 0 is 0, So then I would have 0 minus 2, and 0 minus 2 is going to be negative 2. So that's just another way that I can find my y-intercept. Again, this concludes today's lesson. If you have any questions, please just let me know. I know that doing this over Zoom is not the easiest, so this is just another way to review what we just went over. If you have questions, let me know. If you need any additional support, let me know.